Apple's biggest surprise this year isn't the iPhone 17 Pro or the Pro Max. It's the one nobody expected to steal the spotlight. The iPhone 17 Air isn't just another iPhone. It's Apple rewriting what we think a slim phone can do. Imagine a device thinner than anything Apple has ever made, but still powerful enough to rival the flagships. Sounds impossible, right? Let's break down why the iPhone 17 Air might be the boldest iPhone Apple has ever launched. Before watching, please do not forget to subscribe to our channel Tech Insights so that you can get notified on daily tech updates. When Apple introduced the MacBook Air years ago, it redefined laptops forever. Now the company is trying to pull off the same magic in smartphones. The iPhone 17 Air is Apple's thinnest iPhone ever, just 5.5 millimeters. To put that into perspective, it's slimmer than a pencil, slimmer than Samsung's Galaxy S25 Edge, and slimmer than most cases you'd actually put on it. Holding it feels unreal, like carrying a futuristic prototype instead of a phone you can buy in stores. Apple is betting big that thinness is the next design frontier. But don't be fooled, this isn't just about looks. Underneath that feather, light build lies Apple's A19 Pro chip, a silicon beast normally reserved for the Pro lineup. Sure, it's tuned with one less GPU core, but it's paired with 12 GB of RAM, making the Air shockingly close to Pro performance. This is a big deal, because Apple has always separated its base models and Pro models with a strict wall. With the Air, that wall is cracking, and suddenly the so-called mid-tier iPhone doesn't feel mid-tier at all. The display continues that theme. Apple has finally brought 128x promotion to the Air, something once exclusive to the Pro models. The 6.6-inch OLED panel looks stunning, with deeper blacks, sharper contrast, and fluid animations that make every scroll and swipe addictive. Whether you're watching videos, gaming, or just scrolling Instagram, the Air feels buttery smooth, and that's exactly the kind of everyday difference people notice. Now let's talk cameras. The Air ditches the extra ultra-wide and telephoto lenses, sticking with a single 40MP main rear camera and a 24MP front camera. On paper, it sounds like a downgrade compared to the Pro Max's triple lens arsenal. But Apple is doubling down on what matters most: computational photography. With the AI-driven image processing, the Air can still deliver detailed, vibrant photos that rival more complex camera systems. And that 24MP selfie camera, perfect for creators and streamers who want pro-level clarity without carrying the bulkiest model. Apple's message is clear: less hardware, more smart software. Design is another area where the iPhone 17 Air makes a statement. The rear camera system now sits inside a bold, full-width camera bar stretching across the phone's back, giving it a futuristic, almost sci-fi look. Combined with a titanium, aluminum frame and soft matte finishes in new colors like sky blue and light gold, the Air doesn't just feel premium. It looks like the kind of phone people will show off just for style. But here's the elephant in the room: battery life. At just 3000 mAh, the iPhone 17 Air packs significantly less than the 5000 mAh giant in the Pro Max. Apple knows this will raise eyebrows, but they've armed the Air with two secret weapons: the C1X coprocessor and the N1 wireless chip. These work together with iOS 19 to squeeze every drop of efficiency out of the battery. Apple claims 27 hours of video playback, 3 fewer than the standard iPhone 17, but still competitive. Of course, real-world tests will tell the truth, but Apple is confident enough to push thinness without making battery a deal-breaker. The pricing strategy might be the Air's biggest weapon. At $999, it undercuts the Pro models by a couple $100s, while still offering near Pro power. Think about it: you're getting a thinner, lighter, premium iPhone with the same chipset, the same display tech, and Apple's top-tier build quality, without breaking $400 and $200. That's a sweet spot Apple hasn't really aimed for in years, and it could make the Air a runaway hit. But let's step back. Why would Apple even risk a phone like this? The answer is competition. In markets like China and India, slimmer phones from Oppo, Vivo, and Xiaomi have been gaining traction. Apple needs something fresh that feels aspirational but also accessible. The Air is that answer. A design statement that also reclaims Apple's reputation for innovation. Just like the original MacBook Air, this could be the iPhone people remember 10 years from now as the one that redefined design. Of course, no phone is perfect. Heavy gamers and power users might be frustrated by the smaller battery. Photography enthusiasts will miss the ultra-wide and telephoto lenses. And people who love big, heavy devices may stick with the Pro Max. But for the majority, the ones who want the perfect mix of style, performance, and practicality, the Air could be the most balanced iPhone Apple has ever made. And that's the brilliance of it. The iPhone 17 Air isn't trying to be the Pro Max. It isn't trying to be the cheapest option either. It's carving its own lane, blending design and performance in a way that feels exciting again. In a smartphone market where everything has become predictable, Apple has finally given us a wild card. So here's my question to you: if you had the choice between raw battery life and heavy hardware, or thin elegance with near Pro performance, which one would you pick? Let me know in the comments, because the iPhone 17 Air might just change the way we think about iPhones forever.